A little bit earlier about this being your first time at the Hangout Music Festival, but you had kind of been here before. Can you talk about that experience?
Well, I played, there's the little bar called the Hangout. So I played there, but it wasn't, Hangout Festival. And it was a lot of fun. Just played outside at the little bar restaurant.
What year was that?
That was, I want to say that was 2012.
So last year?
Yeah, I believe.
And it looks like you're a little wet right now. Did you just jump in that beautiful ocean or that beautiful Gulf Coast?
Well, I walked over there with the intention of getting my feet wet, and I just kept walking, and eventually a wave crashed over. I lost my sunglasses. I gotta buy some new sunglasses. Is the first thing on my list, but the water felt amazing. We're actually about to go get back in it here in a minute.
Awesome.
Serious.
Well done, or?
Yeah, I mean the whole stage setup and production was amazing. Big stage, sounded great. They were running a tight ship. They were on top of it. Definitely a super awesome place to play. Everything that as an artist, everything I want.
Oh yeah. And then you performed in the Boom Boom tent, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Your stage show is extensive. Do you bring that stage show with you to each event that you do, or do you sometimes scale it down?
Actually, a lot of that was the Hangouts.
Oh, really?
Production, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We, always find out what's going to be there waiting for me, and then if there's not a lot waiting for me, then I'll bring a bunch of stuff with me, but they already had a ton of stuff with me, yeah. So most of that stage production today was actually provided by the festival. So that's, speaking of perks, that was a huge perk, just to be able to have great production.
What really drove you to producing music? What was the first step that you're like, I need to get into this production mode, I need to get there?
Well, when I first bought turntables, I just bought them to scratch. I didn't care about playing shows. Like, I had turntables and I would scratch. Me and my buddies would scratch. It was kind of like an Xbox for a PlayStation. I'd come home from work, my buddies would come over, and we'd just scratch records. And that was, I never intended on it being anything more than that. I went to the second Bonnaroo, maybe 02, something like that.
Yeah.
I saw Z-Trip.
Yeah.
And I'd never really seen like mashups and stuff like that. So Z-Trip, came out to play the Bonnaroo, predominantly the jam band crowd. And he was mashing up Grateful Dead and Janis Joplin, Snoop Dogg and Led Zeppelin, and he was blowing everyone's mind. And that made me want to play live shows. And but it was actually probably DJ Shadow was probably the guy that made me want to get into production. I loved his sample-based production. I got into the whole thing of digging for records, buying records, going to record stores, yard sales, wherever there was just tons and tons of records, and digging for samples. And I loved the first DJ Shadow record I heard, his introducing record. The fact that he made a record made out of just hundreds of other records was super cool to me. Because you have all these old records sitting around, people might have listened to them at the time, it's all these, random stuff that people aren't listening to. It's just sitting there chilling. And it's if you can take this stuff that's kind of been forgotten and kind of lost and collecting dust, if you can take that and use that to make something fresh and new, I thought there was something really cool about that to me. And I grew up, listening to rock and roll, Beatles and Elvis, and then the whole kind of 90s explosion of Nirvana, 9 Inch Nails, and Smashing Pumpkins, and once I got into DJing, I wanted to kind of bring all that into what I was doing. So that's kind of why I thought Z-Trip was so cool. I was like, oh, okay, so all this other stuff that I grew up on, it can actually be very relevant to being a DJ. And I thought that was really cool. So it's the whole taking old stuff that was maybe hot at one time and kind of forgotten about now, and bringing it back and making it fresh and hot and relevant like once again. I love that. I think, you know, that's a very cool thing about being a DJ. It's like the stuff you were listening to 10, 15 years ago, it doesn't have to die off. We can just give it a little, you know, flip it our own little way, give it our own little facelift remix, and now it's like we're partying to it again. And I think it's almost like paying homage to music of the past by being like, yo, we can, this can still be super fresh and super new and heavy and hype, you know. So I love that.
Awesome. We were talking about also that you're performing at a couple other festivals this summer. Is it the summer camp? You got a long list probably.
Yeah, it's one pretty much every weekend. Summer camp is next. I'm super stoked on that. I played there last year and had a blast. Can't wait to get back there. Should be a lot of fun.
It's about one every weekend.
Yeah, that's, you know, and that's the fun. Like, there's a festival every weekend, and I'll play one of those nights. So instead of like, you know, flying to a show, playing, and then leaving, it's like I get to go and have, you know, one day where I play, and then you know, a couple other days to just hang out and actually get to take it in and enjoy where I'm at, and kind of pause for a moment and enjoy it. You know, like even here at Hangout, like Tom Petty, Saturday night, Stevie Wonder, Sunday night, like that's amazing that, you know, that I get to go see that.
I was wondering, what foreign countries do you look for to create beats? Do you go to any foreign countries? Like I love Brazil's kind of. Do you find any beats that way, or do you use Spotify, or what kind of method do you use to find your music?
Well, I mean, you know, the internet's such a powerful thing. It's like you can check out Brazil or Australia or Europe or, you know, anywhere, just, you know, online. So it's definitely fun to check out what other people are into. And a lot of times in the DJ world, we're kind of like last sometimes. Like shit's popping off other places and it'll eventually make it to us. So sometimes it's kind of fun to try to, you know, keep your eye on the scene overseas and you know, because a lot of times in the DJ world, that's where it's originated. So, and I haven't really got, you know, other than America, you know, I've been to Canada and I haven't really got to do the whole Europe thing yet.
Right.
And definitely want to get over there and see it firsthand.
Yeah.
But, you know, even as a DJ and producer, it's like I'm still paying attention to what's going on over there and to what different countries and different cultures are into, because I like to take in, you know, what everybody's into and then kind of formulate my own thing based on, you know, all these outside influences. Like an hour and a half, 2 hours, then I kind of like to, you know, maybe ease in. There's some more, you know, dips and valleys in the set, but if it's just going to be 45 minutes, I don't feel like there's really much else to do other than just kind of go all in and just try to, you know, keep it hype the whole time from start to finish.
Awesome. Is there any other kind of points you want to make real quick that you really felt that this festival does more than others, or do you have anything that you really want to get out there, announcements or anything? New music, maybe?
You know, I mean, so far I love Hangout. I just got here, you know what I mean? So I'm just showing up and, you know, just got done with my set. I'm just now getting to, you know, jump in the ocean and take it all in. I love the beach. I love the beach so much. So the fact that this festival is on the beach is automatically like a million bonus points for me personally, because I feel like this is where I belong. The beach makes sense to me. But yeah, the weather's great. So far the people have been great. They're very on point, they're very organized, and I think it's going to be a great weekend.